Hi, I'm Mark. This is Everyone Can Grill. Today we're going to smoke some cheese. I got 3 blocks of just cheap cheddar cheese. We're going to take that, a smoke tube that costs about 10 bucks, some apple pellets. We're going to turn this into gourmet cheese. So stick around because it's going to be good. Well, it's about 32 degrees in Northeast Ohio right now, and winter's pretty much set his claws in. But that's okay with me because I'm going to take this pellets. I got about 3/4 of them of a tube in here, which is about all I'm going to need. I'm only going to smoke these for about an hour. I'm going to take a regular Burns-O-Matic, maybe, and light it up. I'm going to put that right in on these coals, and we're going to get them started. I'm telling you, this is about as easy as it gets. That little tube I said was probably 10. It might have been 15 or 20 bucks, but it works really well with this. It takes me a few minutes to get this going, but as you can see, we're already getting it smoking. I just want to make sure that it gets lit. You see, I'm just shooting the flame right down on top of these coals, or these pellets. It's so cold out that my Burns-O-Matic doesn't even want to flame up too much. But there we go. See, it's lit. Shut that off. I'm going to set this down inside the coal basket like that. And all I'm doing here, taking the trusty buck, we're going to open this cheese up, pull it out, and set it on the opposite side of the grill. I stand them up like that just because it seems like it gets more smoke all the way around the cheese. So I'm going to do these other 2. Okay, well, you can see we got a fire going in here, which is not what we want. We want to keep this temperature almost to nothing. And like I said, it's 32 degrees outside, so this will be easy to keep the temperature off of these, off the cheese. It won't get hot over here. So now all I'm going to do is blow that out and lay it just like that. I'm going to open this up all the way. I'm going to put my lid on. We're going to throttle this down. I say I usually don't do that, but for this I do because I want to hold that cheese, that smoke in around the cheese as much as I can. And that's pretty much it. We're going to let that go for, see, it's smoking. We're going to let that go for about an hour and a half and just let it smoke. That's how easy this is. I'm using these premium apple chips. They seem to work really well for me. It gives a good flavor. So I'm going to shut the camera off and let this do its job. And I'll bring you back when we pull these off. Alrighty, we are about 45 minutes into this, and I wanted to bring you back and show you that that smoke tube really took off. Now everybody says don't lift the lid, don't lift the lid, but I'm going to lift the lid just to show you what's going on. Are you ready for this? Look at that smoke. See, the cheese is starting to get it, but there's no sweat on the cheese. And that's what we're looking for. We just want this thing to smoke. We don't want to heat up the cheese. Okay, I'm bringing you back just for a few minutes because I wanted to talk about this cheese. I don't want anybody to get the idea that when you're done with this and you take it off, it's ready to eat. This is more of a labor of love. You're going to make it today, bring it in, you're going to wrap it up, and you're going to leave it in the refrigerator for about 2 weeks. The longer you leave it in the refrigerator, the better it's going to taste. But if you had it today, it's going to taste like a burnt pine tree, I guess would be the best way to describe it. It's going to be bitter, it's going to taste nasty, and you're going to think you wasted your time. But if you can put this in the fridge and leave it there for 2-3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 6 months, 8 months, the longer you leave it, the more mellow it gets, and the more infused that cheese seems to, or the smoke seems to get into the cheese. So, like I said, this is a patience thing. So, once we're done here, I'm going to take it in the house and I'm going to let it sit for a couple hours just out in the open and let it dry itself out a little bit. And then I'm going to put it in baggies, and then we'll put it in the fridge. And like I said, we're going to leave it sit until next year. Okay, it has been about an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes since I put this cheese on. And it's time to get it off. You can see that smoker is really doing its job. Now look at, this was white when I put it on. And now you can see it's got that little darkened up. And these, you can tell they're a little bit darker too. Like I said, I like a mild smoke. If you wanted that darker, you could leave it on for another hour even, and it'll be good to go. But what I'm going to do with this now is I'll take it in house. I'm going to let it sit for a good hour. And you know what? Hold on a second. I'm going to take you off of the tripod. I'll bring you right back. I wanted to show you. You can see how the cheese is sweating a little bit, or I hope you can. But it's just, that's just going to do it because of the smoke and the condensation and all that. But not a problem. You're going to get that. And you saw I took it off with tongs. Try not to handle these with your hands. We're going to put them in the house. We're going to let that dry out for about 2 hours. Then I'm just going to throw them in a Ziploc bag, and I'm going to put them in the refrigerator. I'm going to leave them sit for a month, a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and then we'll dig in. They go great with wine and crackers. So that's all there is to it. There's no need to stick around and watch me put them in a baggie. So I will let you go here. And my name is Mark. This is Everyone Can Grill. Don't be afraid to smoke some cheese. So get off your butts, fire up your grills, and see what you can do. Even in the winter, you can grill. So have a great week.